This dog wanted to board the bus, but even though all the passengers had disembarked, the driver refused to let him on. He even mocked him, saying he'd never seen a dog so dirty before. Despite the bus being empty, he insisted on not allowing the dog in. After saying this, he mercilessly closed the door, leaving the poor dog standing there. Who would have thought that the next day, when the man boarded the bus, he would find this annoying dog already sitting on one of the seats? He became furious, scolded him, and kicked him off the bus again. He didn't understand why this dog had insisted on boarding, but the surprise was, the dog kept trying to jump onto his motorcycle, and he didn't understand why this cunning dog was so persistent in following him. He approached it and chased it away himself. Then, although he found it a little interesting, he got on his motorcycle and left, not wanting to deal with this strange dog. Then one day, he saw it sitting in the middle of the road, staring ahead. At that moment, a car was coming at high speed. The man shouted a warning, but unexpectedly, the car circled the dog and then stopped in front of him. The driver skillfully opened the door, and the dog jumped inside and rode off with him comfortably. The man was very surprised and learned from his colleagues that this dog, he used this method to get a ride to the work site, and he only rode in comfortable and stylish cars. The man couldn't help but admit that this dirty dog was indeed intelligent. But when he entered the workers' room that day, he discovered that this clever dog wasn't well liked there. In fact, they treated him cruelly, even brutally, forcing him to eat a live chicken. The dog looked at the man with a pleading gaze, as if asking for help. The man couldn't bear it and intervened immediately. Silence fell over the place, but a bald man refused to stop and started a fight with him. Just as he was about to deliver a powerful blow, the dog finally exploded and barked angrily, which frightened the bald man, who began to beg to everyone's astonishment. The dog calmly followed the man outside. From that day on, the man accepted this dirty red dog and allowed him to ride in his car. He began taking him for frequent walks in nature, playing happily with him, and spending peaceful and beautiful times together, inseparable. But this happiness didn't last long. One day, the dog accidentally entered a dangerous area and was attacked by a fierce cat that was guarding the place. They clashed in a violent fight, but the dog was quickly at a disadvantage. Despite this, he refused to get him logged. The dog gave up and continued barking resolutely. Suddenly, the cat's owner appeared with a weapon and shot the dog without hesitation. The dog tried to escape, but the bullet hit him. When the man and his colleagues arrived, they found him lying on the ground, seriously wounded. The man quickly took him to the hospital, anxiously bandaging him. Fortunately, the bullet hadn't pierced the bone, and the dog miraculously survived. From that incident onward, the man's attachment to his dog grew stronger. However, a rivalry soon emerged, shattering this harmony. That day, a woman suddenly boarded the bus. The workers rushed to make room for her, but she immediately understood their intentions and wanted to sit in the front, in the dog's designated spot. Clearly, the dog didn't accept her. The workers mocked her, but she remained calm and sat directly next to the dog. Determined to defend his territory, the dog nudged her with his head, knocking her off. The workers burst out laughing, but the next moment, impressed by her confidence, the dog was forced to back down and give up his spot. Faced with her composure, the workers had to give up. When the man boarded, he looked at her in surprise. He hadn't expected her to be able to sit next to his dog and immediately felt drawn to him. And soon after, a relationship developed. Their relationship blossomed quickly. The woman moved in with him and he sent the dog out. When he saw the dog looking out the window, the man thought it was jealous and found it amusing, not noticing the dog's deep, closed eyes. That night, the man went out with the woman to the city, but he never returned. The next day, his colleagues found him dead on his way to work. Everyone was saddened and held his funeral. Only the dog didn't attend because he didn't know his owner had died. He continued to wait for him, sitting by the door, staring in the direction he had left. Half a month passed, and the dog was still waiting in that desolate place, without seeing that familiar figure. The man's colleagues tried to convince him to give up hope, but to no avail. Finally, he looked at the long road ahead and made a bold decision. He went to his owner's workplace and began a long search. He roamed the streets, cities, and ports, but he always returned empty-handed. Yet he never gave up. He began a long and arduous journey,